So here's some stuff I want to know about you and Paul from your relationship over the years. First of all, when he started riding with you guys, when was he comfortable enough to start making suggestions? You guys were always talking about the business, what was going on with you guys, and making suggestions. So, yeah, we got to talk about Vince, and even other guys. Like you would, I think you famously like wanted Bam Bam to get a push. And when was he comfortable enough to start to speak up?
I think immediately.
Really?
Because we didn't just talk about ourselves, we talked about everybody. So, you know, everybody had an opinion on different things, where the company was going. Like that was the whole thing was, and I think that's what allowed Paul to look beside the turmoil and the chaos that was, you know, 4 out of 7 nights, and you know, look at what you were doing on a nightly basis as far as, you know, we were booking the territory because we weren't just booking ourselves.
Right. And he had the freedom,
Yeah,
or felt he had the freedom to
I've always
contribute.
I sat in the room the night they put together the second ladder match, and that's when they were told they couldn't use the ladders as weapons, and Paul was hugely instrumental in putting the psychology of that together. That's when I sat back that night and I just was like he's really got a head for this.
Mm, excellent. Was his he lives very cleanly and always has. And you guys were a bit of a raucous crew.
I did get him to drink a couple pina coladas in Zurich one night.
I don't even really consider having a cocktail. But a couple of pina coladas. Was there a bearskin rug involved
No,
with the
just
night
pina
shenanigans?
coladas, and I made sure that the guy was putting like triple toppers on them. You could put a lot of rum in a pina colada before you taste rum.
That's true. If Patera was there, he would have said he had a cunt drink.
Uh, you know,
He was. Did I tell you that story?
yeah.
I was in the bar waiting for Greg Gagne to get off a plane, and there's a convention in town, so it was loaded with the boys, and it's green and brown bottles all around. And one dude across the bar had a pina colada or a mai tai, something with a fucking umbrella in it. Ken Patera walks in the door with his bags, goes to the bar first, didn't even go to the desk, goes into the bar, looks around, goes, "Who's the guy with the cunt drink? He's got a cunt drink." So was his living that way, other than your pina colada shenanigans? Was it respected by all the boys? I'm not just talking about the Kliq. Was anybody a bad influence that you saw him hanging with, and you were like, dude, if you're gonna stay the way you roll, you probably shouldn't ride with him?
Well, at that point, if he's riding with us,
What was it?
there's
But I mean, there weren't times where you
there's
guys had to be split up for
no
whatever
there was there
stupid
was
travel reason.
no there was, even if there was A town B town, where one of us were, we were never all, you couldn't split us all up. There might be.
Right.
I mean, for a while there was a while when Scott and I were wrestling for the IC belt, and they put us on the B towns in a cage in the main event, and the other guys were on the other,
Mm-hmm. But it was still you and Scott. So
yeah. So, and Scott and I were late every day
because
because fuck it, we we were late. We were like up and I remember we got to it was Bakersfield, and Lanza was the road agent, and
did he fine a lot? I
nah,
know
he was he
George
was he
did.
was cool,
All right.
but he just said, "Boys, the honeymoon's over." And we're sitting there. It's like 105 degrees in Bakersfield, and Lanza's hair's bubbling like the La Brea tar pit with that spray in it. during the match, some lady had like a stroke in the first row. It was so hot in the building, and they put that blue steel cage up, and I used the claw throughout the whole match. Like Scott would go to climb up, and I'd hit him with the claw with that glove on. We had no heat with Lance after that.
That's epic.
Yeah. Sell the
So
claw, baby.
how did he handle all the partying around him? Just kind of.
Well, I mean,
If I wasn't part of it, I would get real fucking bored watching everybody.
No, but you got to realize that it wasn't a party every night. It was you got done in Cleveland, and you got in the van, and you drove 300 miles. The party was it was the guys in the van. It wasn't like you were stopping roadside and going to. It was whatever. It was the five of us. And I would
There were clubs and gentlemen's establishments and
occasion, rarely.